Um, the scripture is Deuteronomy 2 and 7, and it goes like this. For the Lord your God has blessed you in everything you have done. He has watched your every step through this great wilderness. During these 40 years, the Lord your God has been with you, and you have lacked nothing. Today, I am grateful for everything, every single thing the Lord has brought on my life. The good, the bad, the ugly, you know, my family, my son. I'm just like, I woke up this morning with just a heart full of gratitude. Um, in this particular part of the scripture, um, Moses was actually speaking to his people, because what had happened was that, okay, so just for a little bit of back context, right? The distance where they were supposed to be going, there's no way it would have taken 40 years. If they was walking backwards, it wouldn't have taken 40 years. But God put them out there in the wilderness for that amount of time. And during that time, like, they never lacked nothing. You could imagine walking or being lost for 40 years, but they never lacked nothing. They never needed for food. They never needed for even, God even provided them with gold so that when they come out of the wilderness, they have money to buy it. But He gave them very strong instructions surrounding that, don't hoard these blessings. Share it among you. And when you get to certain villages or tribes or whatever, use what I've given you to purchase other things that you need, so on and so forth. But the message that I got out of this was, we have to be grateful, because they started to complain even though they had everything, like, they didn't stop and just look and say, well, you realize we've been here for 40 years, like, they started to complain but every little thing, you know, and it just made me, when I read this last night, like, I had to put everything into perspective in my life, because and I'm guilty. Sometimes I complain. I might not complain out loud, but I complain to myself sometimes, and I had to realize that, like, how far I came from, you know, and when you're in your current moment in life, it's easy to forget where you came from. When you have a belly full, it's easy to forget hungry, you know. So it's like you have to constantly keep in your mind how far God has taken you, and just remember that, and just always give gratitude, and just remind yourself that, just constantly think and tell yourself that, I was in darker places than this. Even if you're in a dark place now, just remember that it probably has been worse before, and that whatever it is that God has you in, whatever position He has you in now, whatever storm you feel like you're sitting in the middle of, there's light at the end of that. There's a way through. Because even in your storm right now, you lack nothing. Nothing that God has for you, you can miss, and you are not lacking anything. We woke up with breath in our body this morning, and today is the day that God has allowed us to be here to listen to His word with each other, to preach His word to each other, and to just show love to each other. And this verse just was powerful to me. I'm grateful. I'm gonna finish wrapping some gifts, y'all. Thank you again for listening to me. I'm Kerry, and I relinquish my mic.
Carrie, before you go, I know it's due to